he was so happy, and he bowed down to him and went back. Since then, he was so much affected to with the Buddha. He was so much he had so much devotion in the Buddha. He frequently visited the Buddha and asked these and that things. There are many suttas. Actually, in Samiddhi there is one section called Kosala Sanyutta, reserved only for Kosala, King Kosala. The discussion with the Kosala. Many times Buddha, King Kosala, meets the Buddha about politics, about family life, about many other things. So you can find them in the Kosala Sanyutta. So that was the first meeting of Kosala with the Buddha. And the sutta I'm going to discuss today, I'm going to share the Dhamma things, the Dhamma stuff with you. But the last one with King Kosala. So at the first time, I might have to summarize because the time is short. So King Kosala, he leaves his palace for a parking area. I mean, not a parking area, it's a beautiful park. He goes out with his general. His name is called Dighakarayana. So he visits a beautiful park and he walks around inside the park and he sees beautiful trees, tree roads and scenery and all other stuff. At that moment, he reminded of the Buddha, because the Buddha used to meditate under the trees. He used to live in the park. He used to live in the caves. So when he saw the beauty of the park, the roots of the trees, the shrubs, he remembered the Buddha. So he asked his general, Commander General Dighakarayana, where is the Buddha living right now? Where is he? Can we meet him? Then Dighakarayana says, Your Lord, the Buddha is living now in Sakya country, called Medalumpa. The call is a village called. Actually, it's a small town. It's called Medalumpa. He's living there, and if he wants, you can visit during daytime. So the king wished to visit, and his general prepares everything nice and gigantic carriages, and he drives through with the cart and approaches the Buddha, where the Buddha and the other monks were living. So when he approaches, he sees the monks, the Bhantes were walking. Chakma is called Chakma. Chakma is that walking meditation. The monks were meditating under the trees in the park. So he was so stunned, he was so impressed by seeing, and he quietly went up to the Bhantes and asked, Bhante, where is the Sammasambuddha living now? Where is our Lord? Where is the Buddha? Then the bhikkhus, the monks, showed him the great Sammasambuddha is living in a hut. You can go slowly, clear your throats, knock the door, and the Buddha will open the door and you can talk with him. And the King Kosala did the same, and at once he falls into the Buddha's feet and he was kissing, he was touching his feet, the Buddha's feet. He was embracing and telling, Bhante, Lord, I am King Kosala, Bhante, I am King Kosala, Bhante, I am King Kosala. I am King Kosala. The Buddha was also surprised. He asked, Your Majesty, why are you showing so much respect to them? What made you do that? Why you are respecting so much to this body, to me? What happened? Then the king starts his reasons, saying his reasons. There are actually 10 reasons he shows for respecting in such way, in such great reverence, such great devotion, for showing such great devotion. So first thing he says, Buddha, I have logical understanding. I have understanding according to Dhamma that The Buddha is, the Blessed One is Samma Sambuddha. His teaching is well taught, well expounded. And the Savaka Sangha, or the disciples of the Buddha, is well practicing. I have these three things with my understanding, according to Dhamma. So he continues. I have visited many other religious groups like Karuna Buddhist Society, and there during those days, the Buddha's time, there were many other groups very famous, very powerful, having a multitude of followers. So he was telling, I have visited Bhante's, many groups of other ascetics, other mendicants, but they live a holy life of like 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. Later on, they quit their monkhood and they become lay people. Later time, they have long hair and every sensual pleasures that a person can enjoy. But in this sasana, in this Buddhist sasana, in this teaching, I see monks preserving this holy life, this brahmacharya. This is the brahmacharya until the death. I don't see any other outside of this, any other community, any other monks living a perfect, pure, celibate life, holy life outside of this Buddhist sasana. So this made me cause respect with great devotion to you. I have more. The monks, the Kosala kings continues. I have more. We know that there are kings quarrel with kings, nobles quarrel with nobles, Brahmins quarrel with Brahmins, and the householders quarrel with householders. Parents quarrel with children quarrel with parents, brother with sister, sister with brother, such way. We know that these kind of conflicts we have in our society, right? In our society, family life, social life, political life, we have many clashes. So what King Kosala was saying, that there are many disharmony in this society, in the family, in society, in the country. But I see the Buddha's community of Sangha is living so harmoniously. No quarrel, no fight. They look each other with kind and compassionate heart. It shows so much impressive. That also made me think that the Buddha, the Blessed One, is Samma Sambuddha, a perfectly enlightened one. His teaching is well expounded, and the Savaka Sangha, or the community of the Sangha, is well practicing. There are other things also, Bhante, I have to do such a deep devotion to you, that I have been traveling from one monastery to other, parking to park, and many other monasteries I have visited. And I have seen, he says, there are ascetics, there are some other practitioners who are very lean, who are wretched, who have like sick, jaundice, and their appearance complexion look like they are. Once you look at them, you don't want to see them again. Their appearance is such a bad condition. Then once I approached them and asked, why your Venerable Sir are very lean, your body is very lean, is thin, skinny, what happened? And they answered me, like, I have a family disease, and because of this I look like this. Here, like, and he continues saying, Bhante, I have more, because I am the king in this country. I have power. I have supreme power. I can execute if anyone deserves execution. I have power to expel anyone who deserves to be expelled. I have power to punish them, those who deserve to be punished. But still, when we get together in a council, in a hall, for some political meeting, my people don't respect me. They talk during the council. They interrupt during my talk. They never listen to me. I ask them to stop talking, and you can talk at the end of my speech. But they never do that. They quarrel, they make noise, they interrupt my speech. But I see Venerable Bhante, when the Blessed One preaches the Dhamma for multitude of people, several hundreds of people, there is no sound, there is no coughing, even there is no clearing of throat. He said, why? Just listening to the Buddha. This also made me so much impressed that this, because of this, I also have conclusion that the Blessed One is Samma Sambuddha, the perfectly enlightened one, and his teaching is well expounded, and the community of the Sangha are well practiced. That's made me this conclusion. King Kosala says, and he has more. He has more. Bhante, I have visited. I have known many other debaters, Brahmin debaters, Khattiya debaters, householders, and other samana groups. They are very expert in debates, disputes, refuting other doctrines, refuting other teachings. I see when they hear that those people hear the Buddha is visiting their village, they formulate a question, tricky question, to put the Buddha into confusion, to refute the Buddha's doctrine. They formulate many questions. If the Buddha answers our question like this, we will ask this way, and if he answers this way, we will ask the other way. So we will catch him, like grabbing him on the throat, so that he cannot neither vomit, neither take him down. They plan like that, to question him and put into confusion, put into disturbance. So, but Bhante, I see when they hear that the Buddha is really visiting their village, they approach to the Buddha and they happen to listen to the Buddha's Dhamma. At the end of the Dhamma, they never ask question. They never ask question. They never debate with the Buddha. Rather, they become the disciples of the Buddha. Because of the Buddha's teaching, they become so impressed. And at the end, what they do is they ask for the discipleship, for the studentship. And when they become the Buddha's disciple, the Buddha gives him the ordination. And after meditating, after all doing, they become arahants. They become arahants. And they understand what position they were. They say, oh, we were almost lost. Before we thought like we are the samanas, we are the Brahmins, we are arahants. While we are not. But now actually we are arahant. We are really Brahmins. We are enlightened ones. So we almost lost. Saying this, the Kosala says, King Kosala says, saying this, Bhante, I also have deep devotion that the Buddha is, the Blessed One is Samma Sambuddha. The doctrine has been taught very clearly, and that Sangha of the Blessed Ones are practicing very well. And there's one more thing, he says one story what happened. And he had two actually personal attendants, or might be they are inspectors. One is Isiddhartha and the other one was Purana. Isiddhartha and Purana, he has two inspectors. And he says, Bhante, I have these two inspectors. They live on, I gave him food, I gave him livelihood, I gave him my carriages, they drive my things, my carriages, and they live on me. They live because of me. I support them. But still they don't respect me as much as they respect to you. They respect to you. It's a little bit funny. Because of me, they are living. I gave him money, I gave him everything. but they don't respect as much as they respect to you. One day, the King Kosala comes. One day I had to go to for a warfront with them, and in the midnight, in the midnight they were talking the virtues of the Buddha. I think that King Kosala was investigating him, how they are devoted to the Buddha. So King Kosala was listening to them, what they are talking about and how long. So these two inspectors or attendants were talking the virtues of the Buddha, qualities of the Buddha, and they spent much of their time, much of the midnight, and they left and they went to sleep. They lie down, heading their head towards the Buddha and putting in their legs towards the king. Then king continues, you see Bhante, because of me they live, but still they don't respect me as much as they respect you. I think they have learned, they have understood the Buddha's teaching. They have reached some status of the Buddha's teaching. That's why I conclude that the Blessed One is Sammasambuddha. The Blessed One is Sammasambuddha, and his teaching is perfectly expounded. And the Savaka Sangha, or the community of the monks, are well practicing. This made me think like it. And finally, King Kosala says, I have one more thing. There's Bhagava Pikatyo Aham Pikatyo. He says, the Blessed One, you Buddha also a Katya. You see, you are noble. You belong to a noble clan. I am Pikatyo. I also belong to a noble clan. Bhagava Kosala Aham Kosala. Bhagava, you Blessed One also belong also Kosala, a citizen of the Kosala. I am also a citizen of Kosala. Bhagava Asitiko Aham Asitiko, he says. Blessed One is also 80 years old. I am also 80 years old. So this discussion happened at the end of last part of the life of the Buddha and King Kosala. So he says Bhagava Asitiko Aham Asitiko. That means the Buddha also 80 years old and the Kosala also 80 years old. So this also made me think that to do this kind of deep devotion, deep respect to you, and because of these things, I conclude that the Bhagava is the Blessed One, is the Sammasambuddha, perfectly enlightened one, fully enlightened one. The Dhamma is well propounded, well expounded, well taught, and the Sangha of your disciples are truly practicing the truth. That's why I conclude. I do my respect. I show my veneration and devotion to your Bhante. Then, after saying these things, actually there are 10 things. The King Kosala says. After this, then King Kosala departs from the Buddha. He takes leave from the Buddha. Soon after leaving King Kosala, the Buddha gathered the monks and asked Venerable all other Sangha members at that moment. He asked monks, just a few moments ago, King Kosala visited me and he told the monuments of the Dhamma Chaitya. He spoke to the monuments Dhamma, and Buddha asked them to remember those Dhamma teaching, like to master that Dhamma teaching. Remember that Dhamma teaching and practice those teaching that were told by King Kosala. So the sutta ends like that, and the commentary says after leaving that place, the King Kosala found that his Digakara, his Commander General, was not there. He was absent, and there was only one lady. He told the news that Digakara was conspiring, so he left, and finally he went for searching help from another country like Ajatasattu. He walked through the long road, and at the night before approaching to the Ajatasattu's palace, the city's gate was closed, and he had to suffer from tiredness and the heat, and because he was 80 years old, he finally died on the spot. Finally died. So, okay, dear Dhamma friends, this was the sutra I just told you in short. Actually, if we had much more time, we could have discussed in length. We can discuss right now. So I'm very happy to share this Dhamma talk. I don't know how much I was able to share it, because I have to say that my English is not so good. So I'm so happy to meet you, because especially I saw you are you also reading the translation in Indonesia, right? So mostly we don't see in most of the Buddhist countries, especially in also our community, we don't follow. That's why I made actually this one for the 5 precepts. I made this I found online, not online actually. I found it some of this online, some of I added, I created. So for Dhamma school children, every Saturday we have Dhamma school for the kids, children. But we have about 20 children. So at the beginning, we just read as we did today. So because they understand these things. So if someone says Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa, no one knows. Just they go by tradition, by chanting, right? So they don't know the Buddha Saranagacchami. What does that mean? Panatipata Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyam. No one knows. But I'm so happy that I hope, and I like King Kosala said, according to his understanding of Dhamma, this and that thing. I also hope that you have some Dhamma knowledge, good Dhamma knowledge, because you have translation into Pali, and that's one very nice.
It's 3 languages, English and Indonesia as well.
English and Indonesia. Yeah. Even I see when I search on Google some suttas, I find translations, Indonesian translations come up. So I think you are doing good. Also, I remember that one day I had a Buddhist painting, coloring book is made in Indonesia. So I wrote to them, I sent email to them whether they have free online edition of this or PDF file, and they sent me the PDF file. I printed out those coloring book, and now I
you have it.
It was made in Indonesia. So I think that your people are doing great, and I hope you are practicing the Dhamma, and you have knowledge of the Dhamma. This is what made you great, made you happy, right? So in this country, we have many chances, we have many opportunities. Sometimes we might not have in our own countries. We are very much fortunate to practice this kind of nice teaching, nice Dhamma from the Buddha. So the Buddha's teaching is so nice if we understand. If we read the suttas, it's very interesting, and it makes us so comfortable, so happy, so peace in the mind. Okay? So I hope you. How often do you organize this?
Twice a month.
Twice a month.
Yeah, every second Saturday and 4th Sunday.
Oh.
We just started actually 2 weeks ago because of this pandemic. We just started again.
Okay.
Yeah, we just
I heard you invite many good monks, I mean the expert monks who are good in Dhamma talks, and the Bhante. Yes, I heard another Chandana and the Bhante also. Many monks come here, right?
Yes, we invite from.
That's very good. You are doing a great job. So in this country or in this world, we are born. We have to know what is good, what is bad, what is right, what is wrong, right? Otherwise, we human beings is useless in this country, right? Especially, we have every opportunity to practice the Dhamma here. We have community, we have people, we have Bhantes, we have temples around here. And also we have internet around. We can find all those Buddha's teachings inside, right? So this very nice time, and I hope you enjoy the learning the Dhamma. And in this rain retreat season, Vasavas, right, Asala Puja, those months, especially these 3 months of which called the rainy retreat season, is very big opportunity to do good practicing good thing. Like we speed up our journey to spirituality, right? To learn the Dhamma. So this is a good time, and I'm so much thankful for Vijay Dharma, Upasaka Vijay Dharma, for inviting me and sharing, for giving us opportunity to share the Dhamma with you. And thank you so much, and I hope you understood my this explanation. So wishing everyone, and especially I think this name, right? This
At the end, yeah.
Okay, by the power of this meritorious act you have done today, like you observe the 5 precepts very nicely, with understanding, with explanation. You observe the 5 precepts, and you had asala puja, chanting, and you have the Dhamma talk. With this power, with this positive power, with this energy, may those who are sick, especially the names Ibu, right? How you got Ibu Ang Neo, SDR
Saudara Matias Maria, Saudara Karlin
Kusuma, yeah. Those three upasak and upasikas, may they be free from suffering, may they be free from sicknesses, may they overcome all the obstacles in life, may they be happy and well with the power of the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, with the power of Buddha Ratana, Dhamma Ratana, and Sangha Ratana, and with this puja offerings and all the other activities we did today, and all the good deeds we have done in the past, present, and we will be doing in the past. May they receive this power, may they receive this merit, and may they be well and happy with their thought. May you all also be happy, well, and peaceful. May you all be protected from danger. May you all attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. May you understand the Dhamma being said. Say to it, sadhu to it.
Sadhu.
Okay, we can have a little bit Dhamma discussion. I think because of my English, poor English, I would say, you might have not understood some English. Okay. Okay, so
can we have
if you have
question?
Yeah, question
Yeah,
on
Dhamma
this
discussion.
on this sutta, you can ask. Yeah.
Anyone have a question? Anybody want to ask?
There's one question.
Oh.
Actually, I just want to ask you, because I heard when we chant suttas or paritas,
Yeah.
some monks will tell me like we have to like say it out loud. So I'm wondering, is there a difference? I mean, do we need to like say everything like
Okay.
or can we just like recite inside?
Okay. While chanting suttas or paritas, some people do like this. I mean the joining part. Is it your question?
No. Do you have to like say it out loud, or you can just like have it in your mind, like say it in your mind? You don't have to say anything.
Is there any difference?
Who,
in
the
this
monks?
ritual?
While chanting monks or together?
No, when you chant, do
Okay.
you need to like say it out loud, or you can just
I guess for him, we need to say it loud or just in
Oh,
your heart
okay.
when you chant.
Chanting, when you chant, if you can understand the meaning, suppose you had asala puja, right? In Pali, if you understand the meaning, if you chant loudly and it goes through your ear and mind, and you feel something, that's great. But if you just chant quietly and still having the same thing, you you know the meaning and what is the chanting meaning, the sutta's meaning, that will be great. I think chanting in loud or quiet, it doesn't matter. What matter is whether we understand it now, whether it makes us happy or not inside. Maybe some people might be liking like chanting louder, chanting loud, and some people might be liking like quietly. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So, Bhante, I have a question. You said the first beginning that there's 4 things. If you can explain a little bit more, what's the meaning of the like snake, like the prince, the snake, and the fire?
Yeah.
The monk.
Monk. Yeah.
Just a little bit like.
Oh.
Like summary.
Oh, that was if we describe in context with what King Kosala was telling the Buddha, the Buddha at the beginning of the Buddha's enlightenment. I think at the age of 35, 40, I think that time he met the Buddha first time, King Kosala. So at that he was very young, still young, and King Kosala was not believing that he was a Sammasambuddha. He was perfectly enlightened one, because those days Sammasambuddha is something that's great. There's nothing greater than the Sammasambuddha. Indian in Indian society they had that mind. So there were also other religious teachers, like I told you, 6 teachers. There are specifically 6 teachers who had large number of followers. So with those things, he was asking, do you claim that you are Sammasambuddha? You awaken to perfect enlightenment? Your young age, you are so young, and compared to other teachers, you are not that old. You are compared to those teachers, you recently ordained. You become a monk. So how can you be called a Sammasambuddha? There are teachers who are old, who have large number of disciples, followers. They never claim they are Sammasambuddha, but what makes you claim this one? Then the Buddha said, the king, your majesty, never underestimate 4 things. This one, he is a prince, a little prince, even a little prince. If you mock him, if you underestimate him, he might remember it, keep in the mind, and grow up and become a cock, and he will punish you. He might punish you. That thing happened. I remember this one Japanese story. Those days, sons were sent to a teacher, a residential teacher. So the young prince, might be 14, 15 years old, young prince was sent to live with teachers, and they have to look after the teacher. They learn from the teacher. So one day what happened, when he goes to take bath outside, maybe in the river or somewhere, waterfall, he used to take dry fruit from an old lady's yard. The old lady had a big yard, and he would put some fruits. He was drying, maybe because of his living there. So what the prince do? What the teacher goes first, and the disciple, the student, goes in the back. So he pick up a dry fruit and he would eat and go. And the old lady noticed it. He did every day. The student did every day. And finally the old lady was thinking, okay, I'm kind enough to give him, to allow him eat, but he does it every day. And he might be a big thief later time. So he complained to the teacher, and his teacher punished him. He punished him. And that student remembered, the student is not other than a prince. It's a prince, small prince. He kept in mind, and he went back to his palace, his country, to become a king. He became a king and ordered his people, his commanders, his army, to bring that teacher in front of him. He did actually. He did, and he was taken, execute him, cut his head. The teacher was asking, why is that? He was very calm and he knows this something is going to happen. And the student said, "Do you remember you punished me a lot? This years ago, few years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you punished me like that. Do you know who I am? I'm a king right now. You punished me. Who are you?" Then the teacher, in front of many people, many council, many ministers, he made him understood that if I didn't do that, you could have been died long before. You could have been a serious thief, robber, and he could have killed on the way. Someone would have killed you, but because of I punish you, I discipline you. You are now a king. And he got understood, and he was happy, and he awarded many things and sent him back. That's what happened. What I remember. So never make angry of prince, kings, saying that they are little, they know nothing. Yeah, the same snake, same thing. A snake might be poisonous but small. If you play with him, if you underestimate him, it may cause you death. Same way like fire, small fire, we have something like that, small box, right? Matchbox. It can produce a huge fire. Same way like a monk could be, although he's a bhikkhu or samara or novice, it could be, we don't know, could be a enlightened one. That's what Buddha said. And he explained to the Kosala, King Kosala, and King Kosala got, oh, this is not a normal. It could be really a Sammasambhava. It could really be Sammasambhava. So next time I will not mess up with him. And from then, he frequently visited the Buddha and discussed about his problems, about society, about the other things. One day I remember there's one sutta, he was so upset about having a daughter, because in Indian society, daughters were considered as sign of unluck. Still they are going on. They said to continue our heritage, to continue our tradition, there must be a son, there's a boy. They have that view. So in the daytime, King Kosala comes with that message. Oh, I have a son, I'm lost. What to do? Then Buddha asked him, King, don't be sad. Daughters, women also could be greater than men in most of the things, in many things. Buddha explained to him and he got understood. That's what so many suttas with King Kosala. There are many suttas. There's a first interaction with the Buddha. Then this sutta was the last one.
But the Sakya clan considered high, right? In the
Sakya clan, yeah, they had their own country, but it belonged to Kosala. Kosala is a huge one, but Sakya. Oh, you mean the clan, right?
clan,
Yeah.
Sakya clan.
Okay, the clan, yeah, they are royal family. They belong to the royal family.
So that's why they doubt that they can be enlightened because they are Sakya.
Not because of the high clan, they can be enlightened.
Because you mentioned on your
Talk.
talk that you're Sakya clan.
Oh, that's it. He is related. He is relating to him. You also belong to. He also. Not Sakya. He also Kosalan. You also Kosalan. I'm also Kosalan. You also belong to a noble clan, not Sakya clan. Then King Kosala was not a noble Sakya clan. He was not Sakya, but he is a we say the Khattiya. Khattiya means the kingship. Sakyas also have King Suddhodana.
Yes.
King Kosala also, Khattiya is also. So Khattiya is the same clan. All those who are related to politics, like kingdom, they are called Khattiyas. There are four groups of people, right? Brahmin, Khattiyas, Vaishyas, Sudras. So Khattiyas are those who administer the country The Brahmins are those who in the society, you know that the Vaishyas are those merchants, traders, and the Sudras are the servants. So Sakya's at that point he was telling, I am also Khattiya, you also Khattiya. You also, I am also a Kosalan, you also a Kosalan. I am also 80 years old, you also 80 years old. This also make me think that you deserve to my devotion, my respect, my veneration. That's what he was matching.
Bhante, Siddhartha Gautama is meant to be a Buddha because when he was born, he already walked on the
7 steps.
lotus, right?
Yeah.
The lotus 7 steps. So he was meant to be a Buddha. Who is Siddhartha Gautama? Previous, like who?
So he has many births. He has many births. At the last birth, it is said that when he was born, he walked 7 steps.
Yes.
The 7 steps saying that I am the greatest in this world, I am the supreme in this world, this is my last birth, there are no more births. He was, yes.
He meant to be a Buddha already when he was born.
Yeah. I mean, like this, we believe in rebirths, right?
Yes.
So the Buddha meant to be, Siddhartha meant to be a Buddha means because he perfected all the qualities to be Buddha in his previous births. So we have Jataka stories. Usually Jataka stories are Buddha's previous birth stories. We have 449 Jataka stories that tells about the Buddha's past lives. He was an elephant sometimes, he was a deer, leader of the monkey, buffalo, even human being, king, minister. If you read Jataka stories, you will find he is excelling others in activities. Like he was very nicely making solution to many problems. Like there's one long Jataka story, Ummagga Jataka, the birth story of the tunnel, something like that. So there are in the Jataka there are many other stories inside. Very interesting to know. And inside those there are small stories, and in this story there are many problems. He solves very wisely. If you have time, write that story. Ummagga Jataka, Ummagg, Ummagga Jataka. It's a very nice one. And there are in English version also. He was very nicely solving all the problems. So he had previous births. He was perfecting. Have you heard that Paramita or Parami?
Yeah.
Those are called Buddha Karaka. Buddha Karaka means those qualities that make someone a Buddha. So if I want to be a Sammasambuddha, I have to perfect, I have to fulfill those 10 paramitas like generosity, morality, and renunciation, sila, all those things. There are 10. If you are completely fulfilled with those 10 paramitas, you are qualified to be a Buddha. So that's why he was saying at the last birth, walking on the 7 lotus, I'm the supreme in this world, I'm the greatest in this world, I'm the foremost in this world. This is my last birth. There's no more birth for me. He was like roaring like a lion, because he was very confident that he will do this one. That's what. Even not only for Sammasambuddha, even for a Savaka, they also have to complete those paramitas. Some in lesser. Yeah, the Sammasambuddha has 10 paramitas, and they have to fulfill those things for long eons, kalpas. In Pali it's called kalpas, many kalpas. But for an Arahant, for Arahant disciple, they have less time. That's how they differ. So those who wish to become a Buddha or Savaka, Arahant, and they are fulfilling those all activities, they are called bodhisattva. Bodhisattva.
Thank you.
Any
No more question, right? Yeah, I guess we thank you for the sermon Dhamma Desana dan answering all the questions nanti, and we would like to offer you lunch.
Lunch.
Okay, thank you so much.
And then
And
kita namaskaran.
may you be happy and well, may you be able to overcome all those problems in your life, and may you be happy, well, and someday, by step, by destroying our greed, hatred, delusion, hypocrisy, jealousy, all those negative emotions, may you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Namaskaran.
Wandami Bhante.
Violated interproximal biological way by Bobby the next. So interproximal important.
Habis baterai.
How about being able to envision God? Can you do that? Are you beginning to? Remember John Boyce's high-low or normal question? So keep that in mind as we talk about Samiddhi. This is considered a beautiful society. I understand because it's symmetrical. So in that degree, John
Thank you so much, Bhante, preparing for the.
If you
Yeah.
need more, I can.
No, I think that's okay because we surely we follow this setting.
You can keep it.
Yeah, we follow the book.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I finished. Forgot.